In the heart of Africa, a story of love, loss and sacrifice unfolded. This is the story of Juliana, a young girl thrust into a world of responsibility too heavy for her tender years. Juliana, the eldest of 3 sisters, knew only love and laughter, until tragedy struck. The Rwandan civil war cast a long, dark shadow over their lives. Her parents, victims of the senseless violence, were gone. The weight of the world fell upon Juliana's 15-year-old shoulders. Their home became a distant memory, lost in the chaos of war. Forced to flee, Juliana and her sisters became refugees, seeking safety in a foreign land. They found themselves in Uganda, adrift in a sea of displaced souls. The refugee camp was a stark contrast to the life they once knew. Overcrowded with limited resources, it was a place of survival. Juliana found a job as a farmhand, toiling day and night under the scorching African sun. Every muscle in her body ached, every bone weary, but she pushed on. Her love for her sisters fueled her determination. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. Juliana's life in the Ugandan refugee camp was a relentless cycle of hardship and despair. The farm work was grueling. Her hands, once soft and delicate, were now calloused and rough. The sun beat down mercilessly, sapping her energy and leaving her skin scorched. But Juliana never complained. She bore her burden with quiet dignity, finding solace in the love for her sisters. Every evening she would return to their cramped tent, exhausted but not broken. The sight of her sisters, their faces lighting up at her arrival, made all the pain worthwhile. She would share her meager earnings, ensuring they had enough to eat. Juliana would tell them stories, tales of hope and resilience, determined to keep their spirits alive. At night, under the vast African sky, Juliana would often lie awake, tears silently streaming down her face. One day, a glimmer of hope appeared amidst the bleakness of camp life. Word spread that Canada was offering refuge to a select few, a chance for a new beginning, a life free from fear and want. Juliana's heart skipped a beat. Could this be the answer to her prayers? The chance to finally give her sisters the life they deserved? She knew she had to try. The application process was arduous, a bureaucratic labyrinth that seemed designed to test her already frayed resolve. But Juliana refused to give up. She spent countless hours gathering documents, attending interviews, and filling out endless forms. Finally, after months of agonizing waiting, the day arrived. Approved. Juliana was 18 years old when they arrived in Canada. The cold, crisp air was a stark contrast to the stifling heat of the refugee camp. Everything felt strange, unfamiliar. The weight of responsibility pressed down on Juliana's young shoulders. She was now not only a surrogate mother to her sisters, but also their guide in this new and daunting world. Finding work was a priority. Juliana took on any job she could find, cleaning houses, washing dishes, working long hours in factories. Every dollar she earned was a victory, a step closer to creating a better life for her sisters. Canada, a land of opportunity, welcomed Juliana and her sisters with open arms. The transition, however, was far from easy. The bustling city, a far cry from the rural life they knew. The language, a symphony of unfamiliar sounds. But amidst the uncertainty, a spark of hope flickered. Juliana found solace in their small apartment, its walls echoing with the laughter of her sisters. Their laughter, a reminder of the precious lives entrusted to her care. She enrolled them in school, their eager minds absorbing knowledge like sponges. Education, Juliana believed, was their ticket to a brighter future. She worked tirelessly, her days a blur of menial jobs and relentless chores. Juliana poured every ounce of her being into providing for her sisters. She worked double shifts, her hands calloused, her back aching. Sleep became a luxury she could ill afford. Every dollar earned was meticulously saved, earmarked for their education. She denied herself even the smallest of pleasures, her own needs relegated to the bottom of her priority list. Juliana watched from afar as her sisters blossomed. They excelled in their studies, their laughter filling the void left by her own unfulfilled aspirations. Their achievements were her proudest moments. As her sisters climbed the ladder of success, Juliana's own health began to deteriorate. Years of relentless toil had taken their toll. The once strong young woman now found herself increasingly frail, her body racked with pain. She had sacrificed her all for their happiness, yet she found herself alone, her own dreams unfulfilled. The sisters, now successful professionals, seemed distant, preoccupied with their own lives. Juliana understood. Life had a way of pulling people in different directions. Yet a part of her yearned for their presence, their acknowledgement of the sacrifices she had made. Time, relentless in its passage, brought about significant changes. Juliana's sisters, now young women, were on the cusp of fulfilling the dreams she had so carefully nurtured. Their laughter, once echoing within the confines of their shared apartment, now resonated in university halls and bustling workplaces. Juliana watched from a distance, a bittersweet pride welling within her weary heart. They were thriving. Her sacrifices had not been in vain. The seeds of her love had taken root, blossoming into a future she could only have dreamt of during those dark days in the refugee camp. They called less frequently now, their lives brimming with the excitement and demands of their newfound independence. Success had cast a different kind of shadow on their lives. Juliana, once the center of their world, was now relegated to the periphery. Their visits became infrequent, their phone calls shorter, their conversations filled with a detached politeness that stung more than silence. She had become an afterthought, a burden to be borne with a sense of resigned obligation. Her heart, once overflowing with love, began to crack under the weight of their indifference. How could they not see the toll that years of relentless sacrifice had taken on her? How could they not feel the depth of her love? The vibrant tapestry of their shared past had faded, replaced by a cold, stark canvas, where her presence was a mere smudge, easily overlooked. Juliana's health continued to decline. The relentless years of toil had taken their toll, leaving her body weakened and her spirit depleted. The joy she had once found in their successes now felt like a distant memory, a flickering flame threatened by the encroaching darkness of her isolation. She yearned for their presence, their touch, their reassurance that the sacrifices she had made had not been in vain, but the silence from their end remained unbroken, a deafening testament to the fragility of human connection. The weight of their absence pressed down on her, suffocating her with a loneliness that was more profound than any physical pain she had ever endured. Each unanswered phone call, each unreturned message, chipped away at her already fragile hope, leaving her feeling lost and adrift in a sea of indifference. Juliana's once strong body, a testament to her unwavering spirit, began to falter. The years of relentless toil, the sacrifices made, the emotional burdens carried, had taken their toll. The vibrant energy that had once radiated from her was now a mere flicker, a candle flame struggling against the encroaching darkness. She found herself confined to a hospital bed, the sterile white walls a stark contrast to the vibrant life she had once envisioned for herself. The doctors spoke in hushed tones, their words like shards of glass piercing the fragile bubble of her hopes. Her sisters, informed of her deteriorating condition, remained distant figures, their voices echoing hollowly over the phone, their visits fleeting and devoid of genuine warmth. The pain that racked her body was relentless, a constant reminder of her mortality. But it was the pain in her heart, the ache of their absence, that cut the deepest. Whispers of their decision reached Juliana in the stillness of her hospital room, carried on the breeze of hushed conversations and averted gazes. Her sisters, the beneficiaries of her unwavering devotion, had decided to move on, to leave her behind, a faded photograph in the album of their lives. The news, though unspoken, hung heavy in the air, suffocating her with its finality. They were cutting ties, severing the bond forged in shared hardship and sacrifice. The realization was a bitter pill to swallow, coated in the sugar of their success, a success that felt like a cruel parody of her own unfulfilled aspirations. Their justifications, whispered behind her back, were couched in the language of pragmatism and self-preservation. They had their own lives to lead, their own families to care for. Juliana'S illness, a burden, an inconvenience, a reminder of a past they were eager to forget. Juliana'S light flickered and dimmed, her body surrendering to the ravages of a life lived in service of others. In the solitude of her final days, she found a strange sense of peace. The pain was still there, a dull ache in her heart, but it was overshadowed by a profound sense of resignation. She had loved and lost, given and received nothing in return. Hers was a story of sacrifice, a testament to the unwavering devotion of a sister, a mother, a guardian angel who had walked through the fires of adversity to ensure the well-being of those entrusted to her care. In those final moments, as the world around her faded to a blur, Juliana found solace in the memories of her parents. Their faces etched in the canvas of her mind. Their love, pure and unconditional, had been the guiding light of her life, the anchor that had kept her afloat during the darkest of storms. As her eyes fluttered closed for the last time, a single tear traced a path down her cheek, a testament to a life lived with unwavering love and unyielding devotion. Juliana'S sisters, now successful professionals, moved through the world with an air of confidence and accomplishment. They had achieved their dreams, built comfortable lives, and created families of their own. Yet, beneath the veneer of success, a hollowness lingered, an emptiness that gnawed at the edges of their carefully constructed realities. The guilt, buried deep within the recesses of their hearts, surfaced at the most inopportune moments. A fleeting memory, a familiar scent, a song that evoked a time when their lives were intertwined with Juliana'S unwavering love. They had tried to justify their actions, to rationalize their choices, but the truth remained. They had abandoned the one person who had loved them unconditionally, the one person who had sacrificed everything to ensure their happiness. Their success, once a source of pride, now felt like a hollow victory, a constant reminder of the price they had paid for their own happiness. The material comforts, the accolades, the social standing paled in comparison to the emptiness that gnawed at their souls. They had achieved everything they had ever desired, yet they felt incomplete, haunted by the ghost of their past, the memory of a love they had betrayed. The world saw them as strong, independent women, but beneath the surface they were fractured, their hearts heavy with the weight of their choices. They had climbed the ladder of success, only to find that the view from the top was cold and unforgiving without Juliana'S love to warm them. Juliana'S story, though tragic, is not one of defeat. It is a testament to the enduring power of love, the unwavering spirit of a young girl who faced unimaginable adversity with grace and resilience. Her legacy lived on, not in material possessions or worldly accomplishments, but in the hearts of those whose lives she had touched. The other refugees, witnesses to her selflessness, shared her story with hushed reverence, their voices carrying her memory across continents, a beacon of hope in a world often shrouded in darkness. Her story, a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable hardship, the human spirit has the capacity for extraordinary love and sacrifice. Juliana'S life, though cut short, served a greater purpose. Her story, a testament to the enduring power of love, a call to action for those fortunate enough to have never experienced the depths of her despair. She became a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, a single act of kindness, a moment of compassion, can make a world of difference. Her legacy lived on in the countless acts of kindness inspired by her story, in the outpouring of support for refugees around the world, in the realization that true happiness lies not in material wealth, but in the love we share, the sacrifices we make, and the difference we make in the lives of others. Juliana'S story is a timeless message, a poignant reminder that life is fleeting, And the greatest gift we can give ourselves and others is the gift of love and compassion. It is a call to action, a plea to look beyond ourselves, to recognize the humanity in every soul we encounter, and to extend a helping hand to those in need. Let us honor Juliana'S memory by living our lives with purpose, by embracing the values of empathy, kindness, and selflessness that she embodied. Let us strive to create a world where no one feels forgotten, where every act of love, no matter how small, is celebrated and cherished. Juliana'S story may have ended in tragedy, but her spirit lives on, a beacon of hope, a reminder that capacity for love and compassion knows no bounds. Let us carry her legacy forward, spreading her message of love, hope, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories.